In Kingman, Arizona, about a 12-minute drive from the city, there's a canyon where the screams of a ghost mother and her children can be heard at night, known in the paranormal community as Slaughterhouse Canyon. This legend begins during the 1800s gold rush. The gold rush was responsible for a large amount of sickness, tragedy, and death. It really should have been called the Death Rush. The West Coast was plagued with typhoid fever, dysentery, malaria, and other infectious diseases that swept through the camps and cities. During this time, a family lived in the center of the canyon in a shack. The husband would go out for 2 weeks at a time looking for gold and food for his family. His wife, Luana, would mind their small home and the children. The man had good and bad trips. Sometimes there was a little more to go around, and sometimes there was a little less, but they always made it through. One day the husband kissed his family goodbye, the same as he always did, and rode off on the back of a mule, the same as he always did, only this time he didn't come back. The man had become another casualty of the gold rush. His wife did as she always did. She took care of the house and the children, then waited. Eventually, she ran out of food. She stopped eating to feed the children, but because she wasn't rationing the food to begin with, there wasn't much left. Luana and her children were starving. Being without food for yourself is one thing, but not having food for your children is a completely different thing. Her children made it so she couldn't forget their troubles. They would come to her crying because they were hungry, expecting food, but there was none to give. Luana spent her days listening to her crying children and spent her nights missing her husband and wishing for his return. Before long, she was worn out. She hadn't eaten or slept in days. Her children looked so frail. She knew in a few hours they would wake up again and cry for food she didn't have. She finally snapped. According to the legend, she put on her wedding dress, grabbed a knife, and turned it on her children. Any logic she had going into this situation was lost. She was completely mad. She continued cutting until her children were cut into small pieces. Luana, her wedding dress, and the walls were covered in her children's blood. She took what was left of her children and put them in the river. She collapsed at the edge of the river, covered in her children's blood, and began to scream. Seeing the blood in the water and her own bloody reflection, she fully realized what she had done. She continued screaming and wailing until the next morning, when she would die of starvation. Now over 200 years later, on quiet nights, many claim they can hear the sounds of the children screaming and a mother wailing haunting the canyon.
Thank you for watching, and I'd like to extend a very special thank you to Papa Joey for recording this urban legend for us while I was sick. A link to his channel about the paranormal can be found below. If you enjoyed this creepy urban legend, I recommend watching The Origins of the Mothman Urban Legend, or The Legend of the White Screamer.